What is up, guys? Live here at Pro Play Games, and we have a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh product in. Lair of Darkness structure deck. Super hyped up structure deck that just came in. It's going to be available as soon as this Friday. It's actually going to be legal for the YCS this weekend, so those of you following the YCS all the way in Memphis, Tennessee, this is going to be legal, so we'll see how powerful this structure deck ends up being. But from the hype, we're going to go ahead and open this, but from the hype, you believe that this is going to be having a major impact in the game, so we're going to see exactly how it does this weekend. But here you see the structure deck, nice and well packaged like normal. You got the Duel Links code, you got the I think this is the playmat or the rules book, yeah, playmat and strategy guide. So pretty decent playmat, favorite playmat as always. Then it has like the strategy guide and stuff in the back, like the normal structure decks do, rule book. And let's get into the deck, because there's a bunch of cool new reprints in this deck, which I like, the Lord of Darkness and Vanity's Fiend for one. But it also brings a lot of exclusive new cards. So here's one of them, Lilith, Lady of Lemon. I probably butchered that name, but fantastic card. A brand new card that gives a brand new archetype support. It's really based around dark monsters and traps. This one captures almost a whole deck in essence for the most part. If this card is normal summoned, focus. If this card is normal summoned, its original attack becomes 1,000. So it's a 2,000 normal summon usually. And it's a quick effect. You contribute one dark monster, reveal 3 normal trap cards from your deck. Your opponent randomly chooses one for you to set on your field, then you shuffle the rest back into your deck, and you can only activate one of these per turn. Well, no, one of this effect per turn. So this is already a really powerful card. Being able to search traps is something brand new. Also, it really like sets it onto the field too, so it's really insane. We'll see how powerful this card becomes, but a few decks that come to mind, Infernoids for sure are going to love this. Any type of Floodgate deck also might love this too. You know, give them a choice between a lot of powerful trap cards, evenly matched, you have direct access to too, so really cool card. A level 3 Fiend, by the way, level 3 Dark Fiend, so you can summon it off Torguide. It won't get the effect, but this is another huge player that's coming out exclusively in this starter deck. I also like how they like foil the new foiling that they're using on structure decks as well. This is the Darkest Diabolos, Lord of the Lair, which I think is like just another version of the Diabolos Dark Dragon that is also in this structure deck. But this one, extremely powerful. It reads, let's see, this has a pretty long effect here. Your opponent cannot tribute this face-up card on the field and cannot target it with card effects. So that's already a very powerful line. Very similar to towers and things like that. 3,000 attack with a huge body, so it's going to be a problem for sure for decks to deal with. And then you can only use each of these effects once per turn. So you got 2 different ones here. If a dark monster you control is tributed, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard or hand. That's pretty insane because it has recursion. Not only is a huge monster that has immunity, but it also has recursion. So that's already really powerful. And then second effect is you contribute 1 dark monster. Your opponent places 1 card from their hand on either the top or bottom of the deck. So that's pretty good. Hand destruction as well is something that's really powerful. I could only imagine that this deck also has cards that if they're tributed they get special effects, so that makes it even more powerful. It's also a dark monster with 3,000 attack, so this deck is also very notable for using the viruses and having access to the viruses because of the Lilith, so this is going to be very powerful with them. Here's another exclusive. You only have I think 4 different exclusives or 5 in this deck, and this was the Arima the Wicked Warden. It is a fiend, super rare. You can discard this card, add 1 Lair of Darkness from your deck to your hand. So very good card because it does give you access to the main spell card this deck needs. It's also a starter deck exclusive, and it's what the whole deck pretty much runs around. And so it adds it from your deck, so it's a recruiter. Has another effect, you can tribute 1 dark monster, draw a card, or if you tributed a dark monster other than this card to activate this effect, you can add 1 dark monster with 2,000 or more defense from your deck to your hand instead. So I believe you could even search, yeah, you can search this because it has 2,000 or more defense. It's a dark monster. So very powerful. You can only use this effect of the Wicked Warden once per turn. Alright, so very powerful. And this is the main card of the deck. This is the field spell. Usually field spells Union Hanger, you know, the Grand Spellbook Tower, things of that essence. Magical Meltdown is usually what really puts the decks over the top. Dragonic Diagram, also a great example. And this one, access to a starter deck, it's going to be very powerful and very comparable to Union Hanger for the most part, being a starter deck exclusive card that you could only get. And you see the price of Union Hanger now, very high. You can only imagine how this is going to get. But anyways, Lair of Darkness, first time I'm reading this too, because I think I read the other two before, but all face-up monsters on the field become dark. Okay, so very powerful, because you know one of the other dudes that you have to tribute a dark monster. All of them you have to tribute a dark monster, so this makes them extremely more powerful. This also makes your opponent's face-up monsters become dark as well, so that's very notable. Once per turn, if you would tribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you can tribute one dark monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control it. That is insane. So I'm pretty sure you can use like all the viruses with your opponent's cards as well, and because they become all dark as well, not only are your opponent's cards all dark, but you can also use them to trigger the viruses. So you can actually tribute your opponent's own cards for viruses that you search off the Lilith and just activate them and tribute your opponent's. It's just insane. It's super crazy, and you're gonna disrupt their turns, because all the viruses usually disrupt your opponent's turns for like 3 turns or straight. But that's really cool. That's only one line. It has like multiple lines here. The other one is once per turn during the end phase, special summon as many torment tokens. Fiend, Dark, level 3, attack 1000, defense 1000. Oh wow, so actually tokens that you could attack with game with. So yeah, during the end phase you summon them as many as possible to the turn player's field in defense position, up to the number of monsters tributed this turn while this card was face up. So wow, not only do you get the upside of tributing your opponent's monsters, but you get tokens as well. That is crazy. This card is going to be huge. Definitely really cool card to use in the whole deck. Another exclusive, I think this is exclusive number 4, so I think there is 5, I believe. Yeah, Grinning Grave Virus. Tribute one dark monster with 3000 or less attack. Your opponent destroys one card of their choice in their hand or deck for every 500 attack that monster had on the field. So if they had 3000 attack, then that's 6 cards. So it goes in increments of 500, I believe, rounded down. If you tributed a monster with 2000 or more attack, to activate this card, look at all cards your opponent draws until the end of their 3rd turn after this card's activation, and destroy all monsters among them. Wow. So unlike Crush Card and Deck Devastation, when they have to like check the attack, this just destroys every single monster that they draw. And monsters, as you guys know, one of the most powerful archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! 80% of every Yu-Gi-Oh! Card printed is a monster, which is crazy. So this is going to be very powerful. Also, very important line of text all the way at the bottom here, which was not necessary, but it made this card way over the top. Cards destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this card's effects cannot activate their own effects that same turn. So that is ridiculous, guys, because your opponent does have the choice to destroy cards that are very, very bad, or things that when they're destroyed they get an effect. By them not being able to activate their effects, that is huge. So if Dandelion was still around, you destroy it, get 2 tokens, you know, now it just stops the effect. So really cool, and it prevents any of your opponent's cards that they play that might be destroyed, get a benefit when they're destroyed, and it kind of just shuts them down. So that's really insane. I think this is the final starter deck exclusive card that comes in here. This one not a non-foil, unfortunately, but Duke Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord. This is a level 4 Fiend, 2000 defense, so this is also another target for that monster that I forgot his name, the second one that we profiled. But this one's cool. This one's a Fiend. You can tribute any number of dark monsters, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack for each monster you tributed. So you can tribute your opponent's monsters, you know, with the field spell. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target one level 5 or higher dark monster in your graveyard added to your hand. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects, except dark monsters. So awesome. The field spell card obviously makes everything dark, so you definitely can still use, you know, you can still special summon monsters because they're all dark now. So that's kind of, it makes it even better when you have the field spell card. So Pretty cool. So this is the Diabolos that I was talking about at the beginning. This is like the, I guess the one that came in here is like the big, the father or so. Let me put a side-by-side analysis here. But you can see, I guess this is his granddaddy. Much better. More attack, more defense, better effect. And let's go and read this one, because I never read this one, but this one's been around for a while. And I think you do end up playing this card. Can't be special summoned. If you tribute summon this card, the tribute monsters must be dark. Cannot be tributed by card effects while this card is face up on the field. So really good in the mirror match if your opponent tries to, like, you know, tribute your own cards or whatever. Once per turn during your opponent's draw phase before their normal draw, look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place that card on either the top or bottom of their deck. So not only do you get to look at your deck, your opponent's deck, you get to control their next draw. So if it's a very powerful card like a Regeki or Dark Hole or something, put it to the bottom. If it's something that's a brick per se, you can keep it on top. So really cool being able to give information, and it's immune in the mirror match. So pretty cool. Lich Lord, the King of the Underworld. I think the rest of these are reprints, so we're just going to go through them. I don't want to keep you here all day. Prometheus, King of the Shadows. Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror. Caius the Mega Monarch. That's a huge reprint, boys and girls. This was a $12 card, and I can only imagine what the price is going to be selling at now. So, very good card to definitely stock up on, because it is a very powerful effect and very powerful card with limited prints. Legendary Maju Garzet. Vanity's Fiend, that's a huge one. This card was always $2 to $3. Always gotten multiple reprints. Most recent reprint, Battle of Legends, I believe, in the ultra rare version. But now you have a common version, very easily accessible. I can only imagine that it's going to tank, but probably rise in the future. So that's a very good investment if you can get Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend, always good floodgate monster. Mist Archfiend, that's also another good reprint. It used to be only a secret rare, and I think a common and gold rare. Infernal Dragon, that's a huge reprint as well. Only had 2 different prints, an ultra rare from Duelist Pack and a dual terminal version at $2, so that's going to be a huge one for sure. It's also 2000 attacker, normal, like normal summonable attacker, so it's a beater. Archfiend Cavalry, pretty cool with the Archfiend monsters. Stygian Street Patrol, back in the day with Infernoids. I don't know if this is going to be seeing any more play, but Phantom of Chaos, very, very good reprint also. That's going to be cool. We'll see if the deck incorporates that. Plague Wolf. Fiendish Rhino Warrior, that's a good one. Very solid card, and I don't think it needed a reprint, but seems cool. It is in a dark, so it doesn't fit too much in this deck, but it does have the ability of sending a card to the graveyard. Curry Bandit, another cool reprint. Ooh, Tour Guide. I forgot this was in here. Tour Guide, fantastic reprint. Like I said at the beginning, it does get that level 3 Dark Monster. So really good card. A huge reprint. This was like after Battle Pack. I don't think this card ever got reprinted again, so really cool. I don't know if you played it in the deck, but it's a very solid reprint for sure, especially with BAs possibly making a comeback soon. Absolute King Backjack, also a good one if BAs come back. First reprint also for Backjack. Rilling Karibo, I think that was a Shonen Jump card or something. Recurring Nightmare, that's another reprint. Lore of Darkness, wow. They just blew it off the top with this card, because this was like minimum like $3-4. So very good card, very good reprint. So pick up the structure deck, if not for anything else but a Lore of Darkness, because I believe if these dark monsters take off, I don't see a Lore of Darkness not being a huge player. I think it was already a huge player with the Pendulum FTK running around. So Hand Destruction, cool card. Foolish Burial Goods, which I believe is going to be played in the brand new archetype. I might be wrong. Boogie Trap, terrible card. Fires of Doomday, whatever. Veil of Darkness, whatever. Crush Card Virus, I guess. I mean, there's so many prints of this card, it's sickening. Deck Devastation Virus, decent reprint, pretty good. You can use it. Eradicator Epidemic Virus, I think that's one that's going to definitely be used in this deck. Being able to shut off your opponent's monsters and now spell and traps. If you activate this virus with the other virus, your opponent is not drawing anything for the next few turns. Full Force Virus, another reprint. Don't know if it needed it, but Dark Light. I don't think this card's going to be relevant. Neither is this one. Trap of Darkness. Mind Crush, very good. I mean, they were like $1.50. Great investment. It's probably going to go back up. It's got a million prints. Rise to Full Heights, not very good. Curse of Darkness, not very good. Sinister Yorishako, whatever. Not important. This is very important, though. Torment Token. Super cool token. looks really nice. I love Konami making tokens and stuff like that. It also has the actual, you know, stats on it, the level, fantastic. I mean, it's used with the field spell, so I could only assume that this is going to be very popular. So that's it for the structure deck, guys. Sorry for the long video. I really wanted to explain the new cards for those of you who have probably cycled out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or trying to get back into it. This seems like a really cool structure deck. This is something that really got me interested back in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if I'll start playing it again, but it looks really cool for sure. I really like the cards, I like the design, and this is going to be a very popular structure deck, so pick them up. You see starter deck Dino, it's already creeping at like $15 to $20. This can be the next $15 to $20 starter deck, so pick yours up now if you haven't, and you know where to pick them up, ProPlayGames.com, always the cheapest prices. We have the singles online as well. Thank you guys again for watching. Till next time, stay pro.